Jedi Fallen Order was such a refreshing take in the Star Wars franchise based around, of course, the video game industry. And that is something, guys, that's really certainly exciting for myself. And I know for a lot of other people who love Star Wars. Moving forward into the future of the Star Wars games, what can we kind of expect moving forward? And I'm going to give you guys some takes on what I believe really should happen in Jedi Fallen Order 2, which has already been confirmed. So let's talk about it. So in an article that was written by Thomas Franzese of Inverse, Jedi Fallen Order sequel confirmed, a new report amid release date rumors. Respawn Entertainment's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order had a lot to prove when it was released last November. EA had struggled with the critical reception to Star Wars Battlefront and its sequel, and the company did not seem to have much faith in a single-player game with no microtransactions or season pass. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order proved itself quite a success, and Kotaku is now reporting that there will be a sequel. What's more is that a release date might already be on the calendar. So here's what I'm going to say, guys. It's incredible what Respawn is doing as a company. They are doing incredible things, guys, not only with Apex Legends, but of course Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, I had a lot of criticisms of Jedi Fallen Order, even though I love the game as a whole. It's way better than Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. However, what I will give Battlefront, not the second one, but the first one at least, a little, nod, is some of the other ways in which you can kind of course, kind of connect with the franchise. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, guys, doesn't have anything other than the single-player story. And not to mention, the single-player story was so buggy that it was really difficult for me to even get through certain portions of the game. Now, if you get past all those things, it's an incredible campaign, and they did a fantastic job. Best campaign in a Star Wars game, in my opinion, maybe since the Knights of the Old Republic. Just really well done. Now, the other thing is that no multiplayer, which is a real bummer because I really would have loved to see Respawn's take on a Jedi Fallen Order multiplayer, just Star Wars multiplayer in general, because obviously these are the guys who make Titanfall, they're the guys who make Apex Legends, multiplayer juggernauts. Why not see that in Jedi Fallen Order? And I really hope that we see that in the second one. According to Kotaku's report, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 is one of the 2 Star Wars games still in active development at EA. Many of the publisher's Star Wars games run into issues during development or right out at launch. But Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order bucked that trend for the most part. It will be the genesis of its own sub-series like Battlefront. Star Wars leaker blog Bespin Bulletin also reported over the weekend that the sequel would be released in fall of 2022. So far, EA believes that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will sell 10 million units before the end of March. The game outperformed EA's expectations, with CFO Blake Jorgensen voicing his pleasure at the game's success in the company's latest financial call. Sales of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order significantly beat our expectations, he said. We had forecast 6 million to 8 million units for the fiscal year, but to hit the high end of that in the third quarter, and now we anticipate selling around 10 million units in the fiscal year, a very strong result for a single-player action game. Now, what I will say, guys, is it did sell very well. It reminds me of God of War. It reminds me of when they brought God of War back in 2018. This was a game that there was taking a lot of risks, taking a lot of chances, only having a single-player story, and it sold really well. But I think a lot of those success stories with just a single-player story and nothing else other than that are few and far between. And I think that Star Wars obviously has a very strong brand, so obviously people are going to go to it whether it's a single-player story or whether it's a multiplayer, co-op modes, full package deals. I really believe, though, Respawn should take this opportunity with Jedi Fallen Order 2 and should really do a multiplayer experience, maybe some co-op experiences. Obviously, you don't want that to suffer at the expense of, like, say, the campaign or something. You want the campaign to be really strong, but you also want to be able to come back to the franchise and continue playing, whether that's the multiplayer or the co-op modes. You don't want someone just to play the campaign a couple of times through, play it on, like, a casual difficulty and then one of the harder difficulties, and then decide just to leave right after that or go to a different game. That's the thing with Jedi Fallen Order. For myself, I played it twice, and then after I beat it 2 times, I decided to move on to another game because there was nothing else to do, really, as far as, nothing else as far as like a multiplayer or co-op experience, which is what really brings you back to that franchise. So even though EA and Respawn Entertainment likely won't unveil for years, it wouldn't be a surprise if a sequel to the game is already in development. The single-player game outperformed EA's expectations and was their first console Star Wars release to not be riddled with controversy or cancellation in some way. As such, it may be a good brand new keep around as EA continues to produce Star Wars games. The Kotaku report was scarce on any further Jedi Fallen Order 2 details, but it's likely that it only started development last year as work on the first game wrapped up. Because of that, don't expect to see it very soon or on current-gen platforms like the PS4 and Xbox One. There is a lot of refinement that could be made to the first game's formula in a sequel, so Jedi Fallen Order 2 will be rife with potential whenever it comes around, probably on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So look, guys, I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited about Jedi Fallen Order 2. I just hope that they really take what worked well and continue with that, but also add more ways that you can connect with the franchise. And that's the biggest thing for me, guys. And you'll probably notice this common theme on my YouTube channel. When I talk about a lot of these games that have like really strong single-player stories, if they don't have anything else other than a single-player story, I'm really stressing that there needs to be more ways you can connect with that franchise. When you think about a game like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you think EA or, Respawn, they really want people to go to a different game after beating the campaign one time through? No, they want people to stay on that game and continue playing it. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, they want to just get your money, whether that's, $60 for the game and you're paying for just a single-player experience. All in all, it comes down to money, but at the same time, they still want you to come back to their games. Respawn wants you to come back to Apex Legends, which is only a multiplayer experience. And I've said this on multiple occasions. Apex Legends, sure, multiplayer is what drives people, brings people back to a game. But having a single-player story for Apex Legends, something that ties into Titanfall, or, even co-op modes and such, I really think that those are ways that you do like real world building and bringing people together and just growing communities like wildfire. So that's my personal opinion on it though, guys. I would love to hear your opinions on that. What do you guys want to see from Jedi Fallen Order 2? Do you want them to add multiplayer and co-op modes? Or would you rather just stick with a single-player story? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 2 videos and content, stay here with Zero TV.